Okay, try to strengthen this lamp for starters. You just need to reinforce the glass. Just like a hands me an old looking lamp. I sit on the floor. I cup the lamp with my hands and take a deep breath. Tasaka says it's like it's so easy, but I'm all tense from nervousness. I've been trying this every night, but with a success rate below 0.1%. Wait, hold on. Is success rate below 0.1%? That's a tenth of a percentage point. That's 1 in 1,000 odds. That means I would have had to do this. You have to have done this more than 1,000 times to be able to say that your success rate is below 0.1%. Sheesh. I guess I'm glad that all didn't become like a scene that was written out that we had to experience. Tasaka says she wants to see what I can do to measure my skill, but there's nothing to measure if my strengthening doesn't work in the first place. I tried to shake off any distractions. Right now I need to focus on the lamp. The blueprint of the lamp pops into my head. That's an interesting graphic, I will say. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. The material of the glass, its composition, the flow of its power, I can see it as if it were a network of blood vessels. Then all I have to do is to infuse my magical energy into those vessels. I just have to do what I always do. The sensation of a burning metal rod sliding down my spine. Oh, by the way, so what? We got these like blood vessel looking things. Is Fate Stay Night like a pioneer of string theory? Like what's going on here? Magic circuits. I see. Magic circuits. But also, maybe string theory. Maybe it's one and the same. And quantum entanglement is the key to magic, as it stands. All I have to do is let that burning nerve into myself, however much it shouldn't exist in a human body, and let it fuse with me. As long as that works, all I have to do is to pour the right amount of magical energy into the glass. Oh. It shatters. I couldn't control myself and ended up using more magical energy than I should have. And the glass shattered. And I strengthened it so much it became brittle. Ain't that ironic? I look timidly at Tasaka. Figured. I was afraid this might be the case. And it is. What do you mean, Tasaka? Isn't it obvious? I was absolutely baffled by your lack of skill. First of all, you don't even understand the basics. Honestly, I'm impressed you can produce any magical energy at all with the method so completely absurd. Tasaka, you mad? Of course I'm mad. I can hardly believe you've been training when you have such basic problems. I kind of want to kill your mentor for not correcting you. Look, I'm sorry, I was homeschooled as it pertains to CMeeCraft. Results may vary. Why are you doing it in such a roundabout way? I get it, but don't badmouth my old man. It's my own fault that I don't have talent. He's got nothing to do with it. He has everything to do with it. A teacher's job is to correct a student's errors, and he took you on as an apprentice. I know it's pointless to take it out on someone who's not here anymore, but your teacher got the first step wrong. The first step! Do you realize how difficult that is, Shiro? The first step! That's like you're teaching a child to walk and you put them on their hands and do a handstand. Tasaka, clearly still angry, takes something that looks like a can out of her bag. It looks like a can filled with colorful hard candy. The sort of thing children overseas might like. Not local children, specifically just foreigners. Okay. I've seen similar containers in Japan, too. Okay, actually, the native Japanese children like it, too. They hold a variety of different flavored candies. The white ones are mint. We have no idea what flavor the other ones are, as it turns out. Shiro, hold out your hand. Huh? I do as she asks. Tosaka shakes out the can, and a red candy drops into my hand. It could be like cinnamon flavored, maybe. Here, swallow this. What? Again, I do as she asks. Ordered me to eat candy. What a weirdo. It's not sweet. Actually, it has no flavor at all. Tosaka, did you give me a placebo? Is this a placebo, Tosaka? Now it's supposed to like help with my edgecraft, and then all of a sudden, you know, the power was in you all along, or some nonsense. The texture is more like rock than candy. Wait, is this actually just a straight up gem? I forced myself to swallow it. Wow, my throat's tingling. What was that, Tosaka? What do you mean? It's a jewel. Couldn't you tell? Tosaka, why did you just make me consume a jewel? A rock? Do I need to get the ER on the phone now? Like, she says it so casually. But it's totally outrageous! What? A jewel? Why? I couldn't help it. I had some medicine too, but that won't work if I wanted to correct you. I figure I need to use the strongest possible options to open up your switch. That's not my point! Why did you make me swallow a jewel? I can't digest that! Do you realize how painful that's gonna be coming out the other end? You know, if you're going to worry, you should worry about other stuff. That wasn't an ordinary jewel. What I gave you just now is a compulsory learning device. Since you don't know anything at all, it's going to start melting soon. So brace yourself, or you'll faint. What? You said I'm going to faint so casually. Just as I say that, it starts to get weird. What? My body is burning. My limbs are starting to go numb. Heat builds up in my back in a flare of what I can only describe as pain. I furrow my brow and try to concentrate, or I know I'll fall over. Ew. What did you... I know this feeling. This is the feeling of failure. This is my body reacting when it fails to construct a magic circuit inside me. It's okay, it might be painful, but it should slowly ease up as long as you can maintain the state. Though the heat could last for 2 or 3 weeks. 2 or 3 weeks? I really want to respond, but I can't stay composed enough to do it. All I can do is muster the strength to stay balanced so I don't topple over. Listen, the difference between a mage and a human is the presence or absence of a switch. You already know that the switch is for turning magic circuits on and off. See the electric kettle over there? Mages are like that. Ordinary humans are just regular kettles that can't boil water on their own, but they can at least keep it warm. That's what we are. Similar, but different. Differences in whether someone has a switch to boil the water or not. The moment we are born with it, or rather the moment it's made, is when we're separated into electric kettles and plain insulated bottles. And who doesn't have the switch won't ever be able to experience MageCraft. You see, you might be an amateur, but you do have a magic circuit. That means you have an affinity for it. That's why, once you've created a magic circuit inside you, all you have to do is use the switch. You just toggle the switch on and off to produce magic energy. I calm my breathing. Just as Tasaka said, so long as I maintain my composure, things don't get worse. You only have to make a magic circuit once. And all this time you've been creating a magic circuit from scratch, incorporating it into yourself every time you use it. That's such a waste. Once you've created the circuit inside yourself even once, all you have to do is turn it on or off. Oh, I get what she's saying now. I get it. Normally, those who have created magic circuits would be trained in how to turn it on and off next. But your mentor didn't do that. So you've been risking your life creating a magic circuit every time. Of course, your father may have been misinformed too. I exhale. Sensation is starting to return to my limbs. Since you've been training the wrong way for so long, your switch is closed. Which means all I can do is force it open and make your body understand it has a switch. You see, that jewel you swallowed forces that switch on, so it'll be like this forever, unless you can use your own strength to turn it off and return to your normal state. If you can do that, you won't need the help of the jewel. After that, you should be able to control your magic circuit with some simple mental commands. I get that, but can't we do something about this burning sensation? She keeps telling me to turn off the switch. How the hell am I supposed to do that? Eh? You can already talk? Huh, guess you're good at controlling yourself. You might get back to normal faster than I thought. Wait, am I doing well? As for the switch itself, your body will naturally try to turn it off to calm down and get comfortable as quickly as it can. All I have to do is will that process to speed up. Easy, right? It's not... I don't get it. See, there's a switch, it doesn't feel real to me. You might think that right now, but eventually you'll be able to form a really clear image. It'll be like a button in your mind. And all you have to do is press it. You should open your magic circuit, easy as that. I hope so, but I just feel sick right now. I figured you would. You always closed your magic circuit after using your strengthening CMeeCraft, right? Now you're doing the opposite, opening your magic circuit up. It's like you're running full speed this whole time, so of course it's tough. But that's all part of being a mage. If you're going to fight as a master, turning the switch on and off will be a huge help to you. I know, you took me by surprise, but I appreciate what you did. You're right. Once I grasp the idea of the switch, it'll help a lot. So you do understand. No need to thank me, though. You're my ally, so I'm only doing this because I can't afford you to be weak forever. Tasaka huffs and looks away. Maybe it's because my body's all warm. But dazed as I am, I find myself thinking that Tasaka might just be a good person. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Nothing. I just thought you weren't really being honest. I see, you must have a lot of spare energy if you can manage to be so flippant right now. If you're fine, then you won't mind me continuing, right? Continuing what? Tasaka grins wickedly and draws closer. Hold on a minute. I still can't move a muscle, so what is she... Hey! Try doing your strengthening magecraft again. You might not be able to control your magical energy right now, but you'll be no use in battle unless you can get used to being in this state. It's okay. I brought a ton of lamps. I don't know how many times you're going to fail, but I'm not going to let you rest until you succeed in strengthening. She smiles, and even though I can hardly move, she hands me a lamp. Tasaka, this is brutal. It's like forcing someone to walk a tightrope while they have a 40-degree fever. Honestly, I didn't think I'd give up before you did. Tasaka glares at me. Her penetrating stare is accusing. Sorry? Rina's a brutal instructor. Agreed. I underestimated you. Never imagined you would destroy all 30. Sorry, but that's it for today's training. We don't have anything else up to measure your skill at strengthening. What about those, like, I don't know. The clock, the bowls, the books. I see a lamp back there. You can't fool me. It's right there. A lamp. A lamp. Come on. At least I tried. I tried so hard and got so far. But in the end, it didn't even matter. Even though my body was burning up like I'd been thrown into a boiling kettle. I tried, but in the end, I didn't manage to succeed in my magecraft a single time. You know, if it's just the glass that's broken, you can fix it. I saw you fix the broken window in my house the other day. I can't. That window got broken normally, but these lamps broke because it couldn't hold all your magical energy. It's much harder to work with things infused with someone else's magical energy. Remember that, okay? Aye aye? Yeah? That's right, go ahead and rest, Sheriff. I'd call this a win since I managed to trigger your switch. Once you're able to control it, I'll teach you the rest. I appreciate the chance to rest, but what else are you gonna teach me? You can only do strengthening magecraft, right? You said that's all you can do? So I might be able to kick it up another notch and teach you alteration magecraft. Have you been taught what strengthening and alteration and projection magecraft are? Magic? I have a little. Strengthening is, as the word suggests, used to strengthen something. Most people typically think of strengthening as just making something harder, but it actually involves enhancing the object's attributes and effects. A sword gets sharper, a lamp glows brighter, and so on. Alteration doesn't need much explanation. For example, you can't start a fire using blades. Alteration is when some ability beyond the object's usual traits is imbued into it. And then projection is... Wait, what is projection again? I remember my old man saying that word a lot, but... You know what strengthening and alteration are, right? And I think you can imagine what projection is. Simply put, it's magecraft that can replicate things. Don't think she has a Nintendo Switch. Oh, if only. Unlike strengthening and alteration, projection isn't a magecraft that imbues an object with something. It's essentially magecraft that constructs something from nothing, using only your own magical energy. Some of the most difficult disciplines. Oh, but you know that magical energy is disposable, right? Anything you create with projection will quickly disappear. Ah, yes, the laws of thermodynamics at play. If you project a sword with 10 times magical energy used to strengthen an existing sword, the strengthened sword will still be stronger. Strengthening augments something, so it's efficient. On the other hand, projection uses way too much magical energy, so it's not really used all that often. Not to mention we got like Xerox now, so not really much points. Oh, I remember now. My old man said something similar. He said it wasn't worth it, so I shouldn't pursue it. Exactly. Now, if you're done asking questions, let's call it a day. You seem shaky on your feet, so I can help you get back to your room. Tasaka helps me to my room. And Saber's waiting for me by the veranda corridor. Good work, both of you. I don't even have the strength to answer. I just nod in thanks and head into my room. How's Shiro doing, Rin? Bad, really bad. He doesn't have the talent. It's typically merciless Tasaka response. And the next thing I know, I'm staring up at the night sky. Tonight I'm not trying to run away because I'm anxious around Saber. I'm just trying to let the night wind cool my burning body and to think about what Tasaka taught me. Once I can use my switch, then it'll be time to think about the next steps. If I can't even manage that simple task of strengthening, I don't know what the future might hold for me. I tried to infuse my actual energy into a wooden plank I dragged out from the shed as I mumbled to myself. A cracking sound echoes up to me. The plank cracks and my strengthening fails. I can see its structure fine, but I don't understand why I can't control my magical energy. Just like I said, I was putting too much power into it. She even said that I should just use a small amounts of magical energy and just focus on reinforcing the object's weak points. So she's basically telling me to take it easy. She doesn't have to remind me. Problem is, I can't manage to ease up. If only there was a good way to relax. The sound of barely audible footsteps just reaches my ears. This is the second time I've sensed that presence. What? I don't need anything from you. The feeling's mutual. Rin, however, is apparently concerned about you. I can't sit by and do nothing about that. I throw the plank away, glaring at Archer. Archer seems curious at the plank. He picks it up. Strengthening MageCraft, huh? Pretty pathetic quality too, I might add. What? Yeah, I know. I'm not a fully trained mage. I feel bad for making your master take on extra work for me. No, that's not it. Even Rin is mistaken on this matter. Eh? What do you mean? Applying new traits to something that already exists? That's just wishful thinking. You're not skillful enough to do something like that. What do you want about? He's just saying whatever he wants. I can't think of a response. He's right. And he has First Amendment rights. I can't shut him up. I know I'm not skilled, and it's my own fault. I can't do MageCraft properly. There's no point in taking it out on him. What's wrong? You were more spirited last night. Shut up! I'm not saying anything because you're right! It's all my fault for not being good enough. I huff and look away. I don't know how I interpret that, but... In a way, I think you've been cursed with poor mentors. Archer almost sounds impressed for a moment. That's not true. Old man and Tasaka are good teachers. I'm the one who can't learn. That's exactly it. You're better off with a mage who has no talent. You know, he might be onto something with this. Because it is actually a thing where if you were, teaching and being good at something are two very different skill sets. And in part, actually, becoming really skilled at something can make it more difficult for you to teach it. Because once you get to a certain threshold of skill, you forget what it's like to be bad. And so you'll forget to teach about errors. Like, hey, watch out for this. Because the pitfalls are things you avoid at this point subconsciously. You almost don't even register that they're there because avoiding them is such a deep ingrained part of you that you're not really conscious of them. So it can make it harder to teach. Whereas if you're of less skill, to where you still have to consciously think about those sorts of things, then it's going to be easier to pass that information along. If it isn't just all gotten to the point where it's your subconscious processing. Geniuses will never understand the struggles of ordinary people. Rin is far too brilliant to understand the mistakes a failure like you is making. Huh? I don't really get what Archer's trying to say. I don't get it, but if I had to guess... I don't get it. Are you just trying to pick a fight? If so, bring it on! Another mistake. You're not fit for fighting, Shiramiya. Your battle is supposed to be a mental one. A fight against your own self. Let's say a mage's battle's a mental one. I already know that. If we're gonna fight, it should be with our fists. Like how Tasaka just laid out Shinji earlier today. Honestly, you're making things pretty hard on Saber. Archer despises me from the bottom of his heart. I've never seen his eyes like this. They seem filled with real disappointment and anger. I'm only going to say this once, so listen carefully. You haven't got a prayer of winning once the battle starts. None of your skills are worth a damn against servants. Saber already told me that. I would win in battle. No matter what grand scheme I try, I have no chance of victory. Yeah, Shinji catching strays. Then at least imagine it. If you can't possibly beat the opponent in reality, then beat them in your imagination. If you can't win yourself, imagine something that can win. It's all you can really do. I don't know why, but Archer's words strike a chord with me. My heart's telling me not to forget them. More than anyone else, I know I should never forget what this man's saying. What a joke. I can't believe I'm giving advice to someone I should be killing. I guess a bit of Rin's softness has rubbed off on me. All of a sudden, Archer disappears. Archer's supposed to be keeping watch. He must have gone back to the roof where he can do that best. What's with him? I complain to the empty air. Naturally, there's no response. While Archer's words echo in my mind, the cold air blows over my flushed body. Alright, we will be saving the game here. And actually, so that's probably end of the day. I know it's early. We're only like 2 hours into the stream. Normally like going for 4, but quite frankly, I'm really tired. I woke up way too early today. So I'm gonna like pass out if I keep going much longer. Just keeping the eyelids open has been a bit of a struggle. So I think we're gonna call it there for today. Hopefully next time we can get a bit further in. And yeah, we're at what, day like 9 or something. Yeah, so yeah, next day is going to be February 8th.